creatures. It's embossed, so it's a little hard to trace. By Shelby Van Pelt. And this is Marcellus, one of our main should have not gotten together, but it was for the best. Obviously, at the end, you shall see. I do not want to give away too much. It did take me some time to read this book. I read this whole thing. I didn't do audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 7 sittings is not bad. I was reading this a lot before bed at night and during the day whenever I had a chance. So, but it was good, guys. It was so good. I love spicy books, obviously. It's known. I've said it so many times. So I did not mind the fact that these two were just on each other like white on rice throughout the whole entire book. I was here for it. Okay, Miss Allie Hazelwood. A round of applause for you. I totally enjoyed it more than Bride, and I thought I was gonna love Bride, but it was very cute, in my opinion. So if you like spicy romance, unforbidden relationships, then you should read this. Even though Rue did not know that Eli was part of this team to take down the company she worked for until afterwards, but still. This cover is also gorgeous. I did the pink and blue to match because we gotta just match it up. I love the pink cover. Okay, guys, then we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix. How to Sell a haunted house. Oh my goodness, guys, like, this book was so good. So good. I rated it 4 stars. I was hooked, okay? I could even say 4.5 stars. You know, I really could. It's between 4.5 to 4 stars, okay? It's objective, whatever you think. But I really loved it. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. This book scared the living shit out of me, okay? I will never look at puppets the same. Word pumpkin, because one of the puppets is named Pumpkin. Guys, like, I will never name anything Pumpkin because of that puppet. is just such a sad yet sweet story. But I'm not gonna lie, there were so many times that like it literally upset me. Like I felt sad. I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But the outcome, like as the story prevails, like it gets so good, but it's just so heartbreaking. Just to give you a little summary, her boyfriend drowns and he dies, but his spirit comes back into another guy that she knows, and it's him trapped inside this guy's body, because the other guy almost died, and like an angel, let's say, did the switch and let him live on in this other guy's body. It's such a crazy story, but it was just so sweet and so heartfelt. Their relationship is just like, oh, you know, like, and then when he comes back in the other person's body, like the trials and tribulations he's going through, oh, I was just like, I felt for him so bad, but I also felt for both of them as a couple. And it was just like, you know, like that teenage love, like it just made me think about my first love, you know. It was just that type of romance, and like everything she goes through when he dies, it is so effing sad. But just such a good book. I did not want to stop reading this. Like I was so invested. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's how you know. And it's thick. It's not a small book by any means. But it was just so sweet and so like it's such a heartfelt book. But be prepared. Like there's parts where you want to cry. You literally want to cry. I can't. It was just, I loved it. I loved it. It's a different type of story than I'm used to. Different type of book style that I'm used to. Like the storyline. You know me, if it's not smutty, horror, psychological thriller, I'm not gravitating towards it. But this was good. This was like mysterious, and you want to know what the turnout is going to be for both of them ultimately, right? Just super sweet, guys. But be prepared to go through the emotions if you decide to read this book. Like you have to be mentally in the mode and in the mood for a story like this. And if you do want the hard copy, I got this from bookoutlet.com, and I think I paid like $6 or $7. So check them out if you do want to get the hard copy of this book. And we have the last thing he told me. It's in script by Laura Dave. Let me tell you something. Anytime I see Reese Books Club, I'm running away. I am literally running away. I will never buy another book that says this unless I know that it's a good book. Because anytime I see this, I hate all the books. I literally despise every book in Reese's Book Club. I don't know who's picking out her books for her, and she's slapping her little name on it. But they need to stop. This book was horrible. Guys, horrible. I do not recommend. Once again, reading is subjective. If you like the book, kudos to you. Look, I'm like soft speaking because that's how much I do not like this book. I gave it a 2 stars, but honestly, thinking back, if I could give it a 1 star, I would. But I'll be nice and give it 2. But I did not enjoy this at all. At all. You know what this book felt like? A circle. That's what this book felt like, a circle. Here you are, there you are, there you are, there you. Where's the conclusion? Where's the conclusion? It's not there. after this one. Like, this deserves a one. Okay, guys, and the last book for September, I had to end it with a good fall horror book, you know, thriller book. Oh, I just got my lipstick. Oh my god. A good horror thriller fall. I wanted vampire witchy, you know, I'm in my vampire witchy ghosty mood right now since we're in October. So I ended it off with this, and I ended it off with a good book. Guys, this is called Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan. Highly recommend. This book takes place in Texas in 1999, I believe, or early 2000s. Anywho, we have the Evans family. They are a group of women who run a funeral parlor, let's say. They're in the funeral business. However, there's a reason why they're in the funeral business, and clearly you can see a little something from the cover. I don't want to give away too much, but some crazy things start happening in Texas where they are, and they're trying to keep it under control, but crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but just know that yes, there are some vampire creatures in here and some paranormal things that should not be taking place. There's some people in the town who are super clueless, obviously, as to what's going on, whereas there's others who are more keen